On January 21st, 1918, a boy named Richard Winters was born in Pennsylvania. After graduating an all-boys high school in 1937, he went to Franklin and Marshall College. Winters worked a numerous amount of jobs, from lawn mowing, grocery stores, and painting electrical towers for the community in order to pay off his tuition. He graduated with a degree in business. Richard Winters then enlisted into the United States Army on August 25, 1941. Later, being moved to Georgia to attend officer candidate school, he met Lewis Nixon, for whom he would fight throughout the war with. He was commissioned second lieutenant on July 2, 1942. During officer training, he decided to join the parachute infantry. After completing training, he received orders to join the 506th Parachute Infantry Regiment at Camp Toccoa, which is now Camp Timms in Georgia. Many months had passed to the point the United States would bring about the largest invasion in Europe to fight against the Nazis. On June 6, 1944, Lieutenant Winters with the rest of the 506th parachuted into Normandy. While the head leader of the group Easy Company, First Lieutenant Meehan, was shot down during the invasion, the person to take their place was second in command, which was Lieutenant Winters himself. Winters led Easy Company through D-Day. As the outstanding actions Winters took on with the rest of the men, he was later promoted to captain. Later in September, the 506, along with Winters, took an attack named Operation Market Garden. Here, the 506th and the Easy Company endured a pushback, causing them to return to headquarters. Later, on October 5th, German soldiers had occupied a crossroad. This was here that the German soldiers could fire upon an American outpost. Realizing it was a serious situation that should have been dealt with, Winters took command and led an assault. After taking control of the German guns, Winters called in for reinforcements and was later realized that the platoon had pushed back a force of 300 German soldiers. As the year came to an end, the Allies remaining steadfast in pushing the Axis powers back into Germany, a battle came along. A battle that would have been a pivotal point for Germany if Germany had succeeded. The Battle of the Bulge. It was here Easy Company had to hold the line, being in one of the worst conditions imaginable, as they lacked food, proper clothing for the winter, little to no ammo, a German attack at any given time, frostbite and trench foot were the least of their worries. Though they remained control of the line in taking over the German-occupied town, Captain Winters himself had not fired a single shot in the Battle of the Bulge. Here at this point, Easy Company had no reason not to be recognized throughout the European war. Later, another company came in to relieve Easy Company. 1945 came along, in which Winters and the 506 carried out orders in Bavaria in April. The 101st Airborne Division was given orders to take over one of Hitler's prized possessions on May 5, 1945, a retreat in the mountains that had a golden elevator. They remained there for a few days, which is where at this point Major Winters told the men that the German army had surrendered. While the celebration rang out that the Germans had surrendered, the United States Army had plans to send men to help out the Marines who were fighting the Japanese in the Pacific. Shocked as they were, before anyone from the Army could be sent over to the Pacific to fight another front of the war, the Japanese had surrendered. The war was over. Major Winters was offered a job for a family business from his friend Captain Lewis Nixon at Nixon Nitration Works. He took his job offer and later became married. He also took many management courses at Rutgers University, with the help through his GI Bill. He was called back into service to go to Korea. As he went to Ranger School, he was later sent to Seattle before deployment, where he was offered to resign if he wanted to. He decided then not to go to Korea. He stated simply, "I had enough of war." An HBO series asked him to be interviewed for a miniseries, Band of Brothers, and out of many requests, he accepted HBO's and had published his memoir, Beyond Band of Brothers. Later on, him and his family found a place in Pennsylvania. He retired in 1997 and lived a modest life while inspiring those who have to become warriors to still remain humane.
If you're a leader, you lead the way, not just on the easy ones, you take the tough ones too.
A good leader has to understand the people that are under him, understand their needs, their desires, or how they think a little bit.
Seemed like he always made the right decisions along the way. He was a real soldier. Like some of the officers, I don't think I would follow them in the water. But he was one of the best.
He went right in there, and he never thought of not being first or sending somebody in his place. I don't know how he survived. But he did.